show out as much as I can because I either it's for myself, but more like I think that it helps me progress as well.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I met some idiots that, that have been in the field for a very long time. I don't care how long you've been working in tech. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. But you can learn it. I'm in favor of those who are willing to put in the work to learn it. And I'm not saying you need to know everything because not everybody knows everything. But for those who are willing to, you know, bust their tail to get what's needed done and to be able to learn and grow, I think there's a lot of respect that needs to be had for those individuals. And there are a lot of senior folks that are trying to protect sort of like the field itself. Where to me is like, there's a lot of growth and a lot of space still in the tech space. There's a lot of opportunities that are untapped. You think about prompt engineering and other things like that. But from from an aspect of opportunities, I feel as if that the older generation doesn't necessarily have some of the folks I've been with, I don't want to generalize. Some of the folks I've worked with don't have as much confidence in their ability to stay relevant. So a lot of that projection comes off on the younger generation that are coming in. So folks who just graduated, who are like astute in certain areas in tech, like whether you specialize in an area like Splunk or whether you are a generalist in software engineering, whatever it is. There are a lot of folks that try to project like their experience on you to kind of belittle you, and it's unfortunate. But there's also the good side of that, where you have folks who try to mentor you, folks who try to lead you, towards like the right path and help you to learn and grow. What has been your experience there with like having people kind of like who are senior helping you, guide you?
I think the first experience I kind of had with that would surprisingly be from a recruiter's aspect. I think trying to get my first gig or just, in that interview process, I met a recruiter, unfortunately, never, I think I turned down that offer, but the recruiter, she gave me a lot of pointers in both my speech and how I explain stuff. And she understood that I was young as well. So I think that having people like that is so helpful because to the point we made before, learning is what keeps you in the game. So for people who are trying to hold down this spot and aren't trying to learn more, that's the people that are affected, and that's how they act to being affected, if that's the case. But from then on, probably I wouldn't say too much. I think just off of my experience, it's not too common. Just because from my perspective, at least with some of the people I've worked with, some people don't mind. Some people don't care. It's, hey, you're in this for a reason. So there's no need to go back and forth about what you know and what I know, as long as we get the work done. And then move on from there. As far as some older people who I feel like don't know as much, I have met one who I think I enjoy the fact that he's asking questions. Initially, I think it rubbed me off the wrong way because I couldn't gauge how he's asking me these questions, either somebody trying to learn or just to question what I'm talking about. And slowly it's become he's just asking questions because he doesn't know. And I think that from that perspective, one, I appreciate it, and it helps me respond better and at least answer a lot of my questions to somebody who may not know anything. So it's a really good refresher. So overall, I think pretty solid experience with just that interaction.
Okay, cool. When it comes to, let's say, teaching somebody that's older, which is, I think, an area that, for me, when I initially started, right, I didn't really think too much about. But then I was also, I think, in my late 20s, / early 30s, dating myself a little bit here. But I guess I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, being early 20s, and let's say you're trying to teach a 45-year-old or 50-year-old person how to, manage something, or work with a specific application stack, whatever. Like, talk about like that aspect. Does that feel intimidating? Does that,
Very.
okay?
Well, every time, I
Yeah.
think. The hardest part is me not trying to say something that's a mess up.
Yeah, yeah.
And also not knowing the realm of knowledge they have. So depending on how old they are, I think instinctively I'm just gonna put, okay, you know this amount of information. You know, okay, if you have 20 years in your resume, you gotta have at least 5 years of this knowledge in this area based off of what you got. So talking to somebody like that is okay. If I'm, talking to my strong suit, I'm a lot more comfortable, but I still don't want to say anything out of my realm because
Gotcha.
I don't know how what they know.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I got you.
But I think that does change because I've also had conversations where the person and I were both open to what we know, and I think that flows a lot easier. I will say I don't believe they were aware how old I was.
Yeah.
I woke up in the morning, so maybe my voice was deeper, but it was a lot better of a conversation. But I think I'm very picky about my word choice if it's somebody older because I don't want to say anything that
Yeah,
they,
yeah.
hey, you didn't say this or you said this, da da da,
Yeah.
da.
No, I get that. You've heard of the term imposter syndrome, whatever.
No.
So imposter syndrome is just like feels as if like you don't belong for whatever
Yeah,
reason. So,
yeah, okay, yes.
even I'll tell you this: even those who are 40s have been in the field forever, they still get that feeling from time to time, and it only happens really like when you don't feel as confident in like your abilities throughout. So like, what's something that you're really confident, whether music or whatever it is, like just it can be anything,
Just
basketball, whatever it is, like knowledge about whatever.
a book, Things Fall Apart.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if I were to ask you anything in regards to like a things fall apart, anything in there, would you feel confident to be able to
I
answer
feel confident to be
anything?
able to talk about, yeah.
Yeah, and from the way you just answered that, it's like
Yeah, it's
you
a lot
literally like,
easier.
oh yeah, I'm good. I
Yeah.
can answer anything about that. And I think for me, that's sort of like the area you want to get to from a tech space, especially for any young engineers out there.